And we should be live now. Give me a second here, guys. I'm trying to make sure everything's right here. Lost my chat. Give me a second. Again, thank you guys for joining us on another Monday here in Operation 11 Charlie. We really appreciate it. It was a busy weekend for us in Operation 11 Charlie. So we're gonna talk about that, some of the events that our guys were part of it this weekend. And also, of course, our special guest, Mr. Blake, Metal Masher, bro. Thank you for joining us, brother. Like always, man. Really appreciate you. So second, for some reason the chat. Anyway, so I see some people already in the chat, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Dean, I apologize earlier, man. I I put you on time, man. I apologize for that, Dean. So please forgive me for that one, man. So thank you for stopping by, Jeff. Thank you, guys. I see Scott Dorsman, welcome in. Thank you for Jerome, one of our brothers from Canada, O11C guys from Canada. Thank you for stopping by. Troy and Jay, cool. Thank you for joining us, Jeremy. JDS, welcome, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Tony, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. So we are going to be talking about this the events that we were part of, like I was mentioned earlier. And it's gonna be a lot of fun today. And so let me see here real quick. Let me start with I see a battle. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Man, I see you there down there crawling, man. Is that a do we need any clearance to be there in that location? Special clearance or
No, this is where everybody goes fishing. And it's just that they kind of had it blocked, but I guess I don't know, somebody moved the barricades and now everybody's just coming in down here. This is another dock where they set off the boat since the lake is low.
awesome?
And this is where the crawler guys, well, we usually always crawl right here
Awesome,
in
man.
this area right here.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, that's where our guys, Lonzo and Gerald and Jack out there, they go down there and crawl as well, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
was hiking it from all the way over there, but yeah, that's not happening anymore.
Awesome. And thank you for showing us that location, brother. How was your weekend, battle?
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty good. It was nice and calm and relaxing. I had to work on some builds and just keep working on some RCs. Yeah.
Awesome. That's good to hear, man. Dennis, brother, how was your weekend, man?
Too short.
Too short.
Too short.
That.
Just it rained most of the weekend and
Okay.
wasn't able to do too much. There's some things that I wanted to get done, but just gloomy days. Couldn't do it.
I feel you, brother. Real quick, let me see here. We got radioacting. Hey, brother, good to see you here, man. We have Basher Boy in the house. Gabe, good to see you, man. Adam, thank you for stopping by. Kurt, thank you guys for stopping by here and hang out with us. Let me see here. Oh, thank you. We got so Rob, I know you have been sick, man, but how was your weekend, man? I know you're trying to cut up all this stuff, right?
Yep. I'm good. Just trying to catch up on some work. Been painting all weekend, nonstop, and yeah, man, just back to work.
Feel you in that. So I'm not gonna put you too much to talk, man. I don't want you to. There you go. You see? Hey, sign language, bro. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, brother. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say, well, how was your weekend, Jess? But I know how it was, right? Oh, it's been a
Yeah.
you were on vacation, right? The whole week? Or
Yeah, I was in Myrtle Beach for the week for the first 5-6 days. And then I did a lovely drive to McHenry, Maryland to hang out at Supershafty Fall Crawl for the weekend.
Oh, it's nice, nice. So you were there with the whole family? That's awesome.
And the boys. Yeah. Yeah, me and the kiddos.
That's
Good.
awesome.
Busy. It was cold.
It was cold?
So cold. Well, I think Thursday they said it was nice out. Friday was warm-ish. Saturday started getting pretty darn cold, and Sunday we were getting hit with sleet during the awards.
Oh my goodness. Hey,
We covered all the seasons. It was great.
hey, one day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thompson RC, welcome in, brother Kurt again. Thank you guys. Thank you. If I miss anybody, thank you guys for stopping by. We really appreciate you very much. So we're gonna be talking about some of the events that we were part of this week, and like I mentioned earlier, and we're gonna be talking to Blake, Metal Smasher, guys. So thank you for stopping by. How do we? Hey, Josh, welcome in, brother.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, I was finishing dinner.
No worries, brother. I know. How was your weekend, man?
It was good. Rocktober was a blast.
So let's start talking now. I mean, a lot of events that we had some of our guys out there present throughout the states. How was your weekend, man? How was that event?
Oh, it was fun. I am still sore from all the trails we did. Me and my buddy Joe and the family went, and man, we hit every trail but Trail 2, which we've probably done the most there.
Mm-hmm.
They even did like Saturday night, they did a haunted trail. So they had a part of the trail to the barn. They had like a Michael Myers, lights and sounds. And they had a little girl in a horse trailer banging the door, and you could hear it the whole way through the woods.
Oh, hell no.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah. And we thought they had recorded her screaming,
Uh-huh.
but it was her just over and over and over. It wasn't like a recording. It was really fun though. I mean, the trails were nice. The weather, tiny bit chilly in the morning, but once you got out in the woods, you were hiking up and down those hills, you were sweating.
And the people that know about Oktoberfest, that is where they do
Beat the Creek.
Beat the Creek, right?
Yeah, it's on the Joe Hauke's farm.
Mm-hmm.
He's got close to 100 acres, and then him and Chris, I know I'm going to slaughter his last name, but I think it's Lindgren.
Mm-hmm.
They do all those trails and get them together, and it's just an awesome time. I mean, there was just some vendors showed up. I think there was probably like 10 vendors. It wasn't anything like Beat the Creek,
Yes.
but it was so chill and fun. Good deals. Here you go, Robert. You'll like this. I picked up this Miata for $40.
sick. What?
$40.
Oh,
It has a axial 27 turn and a XL5 Traxxas ESC.
I'm
I
jealous.
literally put my receiver in it and drove it around today.
That's sweet. Sweet.
Want to trade? I'm just kidding.
Hey, $40. That's good. That's good to hear, man.
No,
Yeah,
one thing I did notice, Josh, they added a demolition derby.
Larry Cross from Giant RC has always ran that smasher cars. They're slashes with beat up bodies.
Right.
And he ran it. He had it at Beat the Creek too, but he always runs it there and sells cars. He ran the Brown County Fair last week, and I've known Larry a while because that's where we used to drag race at before he closed down that location in the swap meet mall. He had 663 people run those $5 runs of those Basher cars at the Brown County Fair, and he sold 40 cars.
Wow.
Like 19 of the Volcanoes and the rest like Traxxas stuff and stuff like that. But he was also busy all weekend at Rocktober. There was kids always up there and trying to out crash their dads or moms, and it was.
That's awesome. Hey, hey, that's what.
But no, it was a great event, and It's always awesome there. If you haven't been there, I think at least half of us on the panel have been there.
Yeah. And that's so every year after Beat the Creek, right? They have that, and you know, every year at the same month, right in October.
Yeah, they always, it started out as like a day thing,
Mm-hmm.
then it went to 2 days, and this was the first year
So
they did it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it was the first ever night run where you got to go on the creek trail. We went looped around the trail, then went down into the creek and came back up the creek.
nice. Real quick, we got Nick RC Jesus in the chat. How you doing, Nick? Man, good to see you, brother. Let me see here. We got Robert 907 RT. Welcome in. Oh, Matt and the Sergeant Major in the chat. Thank you for stopping by, guys. Thank you, Jerome. Thank you for stopping by here. That is sweet, man.
Yeah.
That is
Only
awesome.
broke two things.
Oh, that's
One
good.
servo died, and the U-Tron, it ate the front bushing, so it took out the ring and pinion. So if you have a U-Tron, I'd suggest swapping it to bearings, at least in the front, because I think that fixed angle just acts like putting load on the bearing, and
Mhm.
it just wobbles it out fast. Or and load on the bushings, since they have bushings in them.
Sweet, man. Jason, welcome in, bro. Thank you for stopping by. That is sweet, man. That is sweet. I know we have some other guys. Craig Hawkins, he's down there as well in the Kentucky area, so he was at that event as well. One of our newest inductee. So that's awesome, man. We need to get more stuff, more guys down there, next year, hopefully. Sweet, that is sweet, man. Anything else that you want to mention, Josh, before we jump to the next event?
No, that's it. Just had a great time there. I was there all weekend, and it was a blast.
Awesome, man. That's awesome, bro. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Another mention event, guys. October 1st down there at the Big Creek area, man. So, gotta support them. Let me see here. Jess. We also, before we go to Jess, because that's gonna right there from Jess is gonna jump to Blake. Blake was present at that event as well. We could talk about FMS. FMS had an event there, they're in California, right? Oxnard, this past weekend as well, also. So it was Saturday and Sunday. We had a few of our guys down there at FMS. A huge shout out to our FMS and Paul Wilhite, you know, that amazing event. Our guys, I know Sergeant Major's at East in the chat. Sergeant Major was there. Jeremy Kilborn, Jared was there also on Saturday, hanging out with them. So that is awesome. And so that's another event that's going to be happening yearly, that we should be have a present down there. I know Sergeant Major is going to be traveling to Vegas, unless he's in Vegas now already. So
Seeing everything hot.
it's Amen. That's sweet. Matt says at ease, what happened in Vegas, it stays in Vegas. Yeah. So he's gonna be out there in Vegas as well. This whole weekend. So that's awesome. That's whole week. So that's good to hear. So again, that's FMS event. That's the first one they had done, if I'm not mistaken, right? The FMS festival.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's gonna be happening yearly, right? So we're looking forward for next year, for that event. So Sergeant Majors is saying that they had a blast there. I know they had 2 different locations out there, within 20-30 minutes away. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we go to Jess, right? And Blake, another amazing event. So she finished her vacation, right? At the Supershafty, right?
The
What's the
Supershafty Fall Crawl. It was their 6th year.
6th year, right? Fall crawl.
Yep.
I know you guys had a blast. That one, it just is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a whole weekend, or how's that?
It
It
depends.
starts next week.
It technically starts Thursday. They let a lot of the judges or people that are competing in, I think, 6 courses,
Mhm.
different classes that they can go on Thursdays. It helps spread it out because there's a lot of trucks and a lot of classes that are involved, and they
Yeah,
keep,
they said they had over 400 competitors and over 1,000 trucks.
yeah, it was a lot.
What else? What else, guys? Tell me
So
about
I mean, they had every kind of crawler you could possibly think of, and then they also did U4 races, which are just insane to watch people destroy their cars.
Okay.
They run around, basically a giant fishbowl, and some people could either stand in one area or some could run with them. I think the only guys that ran with them was the SCX6s, and then our friend Bill Riddle took one to the shin.
Uh-oh. Ow.
That was fun. But no, it was a great weekend. There was a lot of people there, and a couple of the companies actually got together and held a benefit party for us Friday night.
That's a
Which-
Friday night.
It was Friday night. This was the first year they did it, to where they got everybody off the course and we all went to a restaurant they shut down strictly for us. So it was just the Tiny Truck family, and they got a band. And they did a ton of raffles and giveaways. But all the proceeds went directly to Operation 11. So we want to thank the 3 companies that I know put it on for us. I don't have a list of all the sponsors yet, but Corrupt Carbon Works, Austin and his amazing wife, they ran the show. They also had Ray Wolf from Side Mine Creations. He helped hugely with it. He also did a huge banner to where it was like we were at a red carpet event where you could get pictures taken in front of it. And then Shift RC was the other one that contributed a ton towards it.
That is
And
awesome.
That
is-
night, they had a beautiful set of Vision metal design wheels that were custom made. Some people have seen them because I got a lot of emails and questions about them. But the designer took the time to put 4 of the military emblems in a wheel, so each one was different, and they
Yes.
auctioned those off that night. So one lucky winner got that one set of one-offs. There will never be another set of those, but they were gorgeous.
Let me see. I can show them here. Well, I have
Mhm.
one of as soon as they post them, Jess, online,
It's been a long message.
one of our fellow veteran, actually a Marine veteran, he showed me, Javier, what is this? This is sick.
Well,
So
I didn't realize they had 4 different ones on it. I thought it was just one branch.
just a
until-
one-off.
Yeah, until Austin showed me. He's like, no, each wheel. So there was, I think, the Air Force, the Army, Navy, and Marines, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the 4. And then it also had the Operation 11 insignia on it as well.
So this is one of those. This is the one that Doug showed me.
Showed.
He's a Marine veteran, so this is amazing when we saw that post promoting that event. So that's awesome. Thank you. Do you guys see that?
That one set of wheels
Hold on.
brought in $1,000 for that one set of wheels.
This one. I thought I was showing it to you guys. So this is the one. This is the one you're talking about, right, Blake?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
because I thought they were all the Marine Corps, but nope. Each one is different, has a different branch.
So it was just an amazing, man. This is just incredible. Huge shout out to everybody that it was involved in this event. Jesse is waiting for the list of everybody that is involved, so we will do a post. And
I know there was a ton. I think there was at least 10 different companies or private people that contributed towards the giveaways, and then people got in their pockets. It was pretty nice.
and so I know
It helps out a lot when you like lubricate the pockets with alcohol, and it seems to really get going.
It was a good time.
It was.
I want to say real quick here we have Scout Down Doors, man. Thank you for stopping by, brother. I think somebody here, Daniel said, thank the second said so much fun this weekend. So I'm assuming he was one of these event out there down there. Jason Edwards, Vision RC wheels killed it with the wheels picks on face. So definitely, brother. That is sick. I'm just amazing what they did.
Jess, you want to give the total, what they raised?
Yes.
Can You want
Go
me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they were able to raise a total of $6,465
Wow.
in 2 hours.
In
In 2 hours.
Yes, that was just incredible.
They were
Guys.
genius to have us up all day long and then add the alcohol. That was genius.
Perfect.
But it was really fun. They plan on doing it again next year. And it wouldn't surprise me if they don't try and do it at other events as well, because they had a ball doing it. So you never know. Never
Yeah,
know.
they called it Supershafty After Dark. So I think they're just gonna throw different names in front of it and then just keep rolling with the same.
I think
same
they're going
thing.
to do it
Perfect.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because Corrupt is definitely a fun group to hang out with. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, well, especially with their shirts and their crazy hats and glasses. Oh yeah, they
have
get
fun.
into it.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, this weekend, what else did we do this weekend? Oh, Cooper got first place in the Young Guns.
So,
So he brought home a pretty snazzy trophy, and he was the lucky winner of the truck. That's the other nice thing they do at Shafty with the Young Guns class, the kids. They do not have to provide their own truck. Tyler Ferryman from Ohio actually provides 2 trucks for that class, and then at the end of it, 2 kids get to take those trucks home. Cooper was one of the lucky ones this year. He won a Vanquish Phoenix. John won it 2 years ago, I think. He brought home an Element 2 years ago. So that's pretty awesome. And yours truly came in 5th in the Divas class.
Oh, nice.
I'm improving every
Yeah.
Well, I did
so
absolutely terrible in my classes, but my trucks up there themselves did good. So my class 1 that I have, I'll talk about that one later. That was another brand new build for this year. And so I went straight off of no practice at all, and but did manage to finish. I'll say I finished all the courses. I went through gate 10 on one course, but technically didn't finish because I pointed out. I'll call it a win.
you finished. That's a big part at Fall Crawl. If you finish it.
Yes, that is a major accomplishment for most people, is just finishing all the courses, because their courses are extremely difficult. And I love the fact that they're difficult too, because it brings out the best. And then, but the thing that I was happy about was being with a great group of guys. I was with Dave Zedmeyer, Jim Caruso, Rico Martinez, and Aaron LaRoche, which I'm probably going to screw up his name. So Aaron and Rico are the owners of EXO, and they came up this year from California, and Dave Z is sponsored by them. So he invited them to our house that we stayed at for the weekend. It was a great time. I mean, those guys are just a great group of guys. Well, between the 4 of them, they took home 8 trophies this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. So Dave made 3rd in class 3. Jim got 1st in mini, 1st in pro, and 2nd in super. Rico got 2nd in class 3, 1st in class 2, 5th in class 1, and Aaron got 2nd in sportsman. So I had to shout out to those guys, because it was just amazing hanging out with just some elite group of drivers, and you couldn't ask for a better weekend. It was just so cool. And I have to put a little feather in my cap. Rico, when he won 1st place in class 2, I was a spotter in class 2. So he did all the driving, and I just helped point him in the right direction. But yeah, it was kind of cool to be part of that group.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I want to say real quick, guys, RC Patina Eric in the house. Welcome, brother. Good to have you here, Eric. He said, "Hey, Robert, I see you working on my shocks."
Oh, there was one comment, Javi, that we had missed from Sergeant Major.
Oh,
to
yes.
everyone about FMS does offer us a discount, a code that
Yeah.
goes towards Operation 11.
Yes,
So-
yes, right here. Yes, and this is, I'm gonna, thank you, Jess, for reminding me. This is, I'm posting it here, guys. So we have a link from FMS. And every time you purchase is right there on our website. So you click the FMS logo and it's gonna send you straight to our the purchase price for Operation 11 Charlie, guys. So feel free. Thank you for FMS for the immense support. And so Major says, you said that you practice your public speaking after.
They made me, and they even called me stage fright. Yeah, I gave a little spiel. I thanked everyone for coming, of course, and I thanked all of our veterans and our current active, but like, you know, the whole retired, their families. I'm always big on thanking your family because honestly, they go through a lot for us. But yes, I did. And then there was something else. Oh, Jeff had mentioned about the goodies that we left with from Supershafty. If you can make it and feel like competing, this year they gave away over $40,000 worth of merchandise.
That is crazy.
Everyone leaves with a minimal of $100 to $150 prize. Everybody. Some
Wow.
people leave with a lot more than that. But everyone leaves with a minimal of $100 to $150. So
Wow, that is
make-
awesome. That is awesome. I know, again, next year we need to plan to be there. We really appreciate, man. Again, huge support that we got from that event. Everywhere that our guys, and we cannot thank them enough to supporting our cause. It means a lot to us and all of our veterans, man, and their families, right? They really appreciate it, and having all these reps and guys being part of this event, it meant a lot to us, right? And you guys, especially you, Jess, that you've been part of some of the trailing and hanging out with our veterans, so you know how it feels, right? And how our guys are so grateful, right?
Mhm.
For everybody, what everybody does, and the support just immensely. So again, huge shout out to everybody that support that event and all of the events that O11C was part of this week. And thank you guys for the support. It's just incredible. My goodness. So Friday, so my goodness, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is crazy. That's
Oh, wow.
awesome. Long weekend. And that for people don't know, that is an indoor course, right?
Oh, it's outdoor.
Is that all? Okay.
It's a whitewater rapids course that
Okay.
they really drain for us that week. And then if you want, you can stay Sunday and watch it fill back up with water. Like we were finding all kinds of things people had lost while they were whitewater rafting. I found a wedding ring. Yeah,
Oh, what?
I found somebody's wedding band that they must have lost when they were out in the waters. Yeah.
My goodness. So wow, that's awesome, man.
It's very cool. It's very natural. They don't move anything. They don't bring anything in. We work with what we've got. But it's a tough course. It's a lot of people fell. There was a bunch of sprained ankles. There was a couple knees. There was a broken leg.
Oh, my goodness.
The guy that runs it broke his leg. AJ, from Key City and Supershafty. Yeah, he fell and broke his leg Sunday morning during the finals. Yeah, that was a good time.
Is this like a military style event? What's going on?
Yeah. If you're not watching, and you're literally
Yes,
into a fishbowl.
that's what I figured.
What? That's you, Rob. What do you figure?
You're literally in a fishbowl climbing into rocks,
Oh,
trying to
that-
figure out how to get down there and then how to get back out of there.
Okay.
But if you're in the bottom of the bowls, two of the bowls are about roughly 2 stories deep.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and the boulders are the size of cars and trucks in that area. As you work your way down further, there's actually steel plates on hydraulic pistons that will pop up when it's got water in it and stuff. So there's concrete, there's real rocks, there's metal plates. There's kind of this like menagerie of different kinds of things. And I think the whole course is like 3/8 of a mile long, or almost a half mile.
Oh.
It wraps around the entire side of the mountain. Starts at one end, goes around the other side.
It's gorgeous. Just to go up and just look it's absolutely gorgeous up there. Top of a mountain, deer, you see bear.
Oh, nice.
It's
I'm good
beautiful.
with those.
Let me see here real quick. Now some more people jump in. Slash Raptor 93, welcome in and finally made it live again. Thank you for stopping by, brother. Really appreciate you.
Jesus,
One-
yeah, Adrian broke his fibula, if I'm
Uh,
saying.
Oh,
he-
yes.
Yeah, he made it back for the awards. He wasn't
Jeez.
completely there, but
That guy's an animal. I'll tell you. He broke his leg. He was sitting down, telling people where to stand to get away from the drivers.
Oh,
And
my-
then we carried him over to put him in the cart as they're going, 2 stories up these rocks. They had probably 6, 8 guys trying. This guy's he's huge. He's like a Sasquatch. He's
guy. Yeah, he's a big guy.
and he passed out on the rocks for like 2 minutes. And
Oh
he
my
still had
God.
the clipboard in his hand because he was tallying up scores. And
Yeah.
he woke up out of the thing, and they said he started going to the clipboard again. I'm like,
Oh, my
stop.
God.
But yeah,
Man.
Adrian's indoor course in Frederick, I mean, his RC course is indoors in Frederick. This weekend was outdoors. We were in sleet, we were in fog, we were in rain, we had wind. And then they were in shorts on Thursday.
Oh, it was like 90 degrees on Thursday. We were burning our heads from the sun. And
Yeah. You hit every season at that event. You never know. You have to pack for all 4 seasons.
All 4 seasons at once.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Sunday I had 2 pairs of pants, 3 coats on, 2 pairs of socks.
Yeah. It's
And that was so cold.
it's brutal. But it's fun.
Crazy. One shot, welcome in, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Let me see here. You don't RC, Jeremy Burris. Definitely next year on the Gauntlet. Yes, we have a crew that was there this past event. Next year, hopefully we can have some of our guys out there. Definitely we will. Let me see here. Moon over Miami. Thank you for stopping by, brother. Thank you for stopping by. And said Nick Barber saying AJ broke his leg. Hope he was just a fracture, nothing super terrible. But no.
It's broke.
Yeah. So Daniel said he was grading scores while waiting for the ambulance.
Yes. It's hardcore.
Oh, my, yeah, that's sick, man. That's sweet. So Fall Crawl is the only event where you will get sunburn and frostbites in 1 week.
We will. It's bad. I mean, there's years where it snowed. There's years where you were in shorts the entire time. You never know. This year we got it all.
Wow. Matt is saying that a few years ago, a guy drove his motorcycle into the.
That was the first year they had it, I think. Yeah.
That
Wow.
was Matt rode his motorcycle the first year. Froze his butt off.
Mhm.
Sweet. Awesome, man. That is awesome. That's good to hear. Man, sorry for everybody that got hurt, man. But geez, man. So now
We all know the risk of being injured, but we willing to take the risk for such a great event.
I think we have to sign a waiver at the beginning of it.
We do.
Sweet. So and next year, definitely, we need to be there. I know some of our guys, there were so many events this weekend. Some of the guys that were gonna go there and hang out with you, Jess, but they were in we were in different areas out there, for that. So that is sweet. So let's go from here, Jake, man. Let's go to you. Anything else you want to mention, Jess, of the event?
I think
We cover everything all. So we will be waiting, guys, we're gonna mention making a post. Jesse is waiting on some of the list, everybody that was involved in that event.
I'll have it the next day or so, but I took lots of pictures too, so you'll get to see all the festivities for those too.
Can't wait. Can't wait on that. So Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Jess, for always being there for our guys. Amazing rep here, Jesse, and this whole lovely family. All
I
our
don't
rep.
know. Knows. We'll go to more parties. Cooper wants to say hi. Come say hi.
Hey, Coop.
Okay.
Hey, man, I saw you won a lot of stuff this weekend, and you won first place on what?
Kids class.
That's congratulations, buddy.
Mm-hmm. I think there was 15 kids this year. I think.
What? And you won, and you got that Vanquish, right? You got the RTR.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Yep.
little beat up. He's got to fix it. but- hey, it's a truck. He loves it. He's been driving it all day.
That is awesome. Congrats, Cooper, bro. That's awesome. Awesome. That's why we love the hobby, guys. This family. The whole family can enjoy it, man. So this is awesome. So let's go with Blake, man. Let me hear Blake. I'm gonna be posting here on the chat. So people will follow him. We got the Facebook page, right, Blake, and we had the Instagram, right?
Right now, it's the only two places I have.
Got you, brother. So people that know about you, Blake, go ahead. Man, we've been talking for an hour, right? Go ahead and introduce yourself, right?
Yeah, my name is Blake Leibelsberger. Yes, it's a German name. And I have I'm not going to call it a business. I have a hobby that I call Metal Master Customs. I call it just a hobby right now because it is an official business, but I do build for other people when I can. I tend to take on a lot and try to keep it to a minimum, but more often than not, I try to gear my stuff towards friends, family, people like that. So when I can do other people, I fit them in when possible. What I do is I make aluminum bodies, and they are, here's an example. So this is a Toyota pickup truck, and this particular pickup truck is what I would call my basic setup. It's just skins, full drop bed, and then it's on top of a standard SCX 10.3 chassis.
Nice.
What I do is I supply the cage. I highly recommend that my bodies have cages because it is a light 005 material and it dents really easy, but that's the point. So cages are a must to support the body. It will not work with just body posts. They'll poke right through the body. It's not recommended. So because of that reason, my bodies have the ability to open hoods, doors, all that kind of stuff. This one has a few extra parts in it, which would be the firewall, floor, or the inner fenders, and the radiator support. The material that I use is called tooling foil, and like I said, it's 0.005 thick. This is what it looks like. It comes off a roll. It's real thin stuff. But as I form it over top of molds that are made of liquid resin. This comes from a company called Smooth On. It's called Smooth Cast 300. That mold comes out of silicone mold from the same company. This is called Umu 30. I'm not sure where the names come from. They're kind of goofy. But this is a 2-part silicone 50-50 mix. The resin's a 2-part resin 50-50 mix. And what I'll do is if it's a hard body, like a Toyota TF2 or something that respect, I'll surround it with cardboard, cast this in liquid silicone, and then I cast my resin parts off of that. The bodies that I do are a range of various different types. I have Toyotas, Chevys, Fords, Dodges. Most of them are kind of older stuff. I do what I prefer, and occasionally I'll do something when somebody requests, but the time investment needs to be worth it in my case. I am doing a couple new projects, and one of them is a Samurai long wheelbase. Jeremy Kilborn will recognize this. So this is his long wheelbase Samurai, and it is now in at least a complete stage of one piece. Let's put it that way.
Bro,
It's not done by any means. But this is the full long wheelbase. It has the full extension to the bed and everything.
That is sick, bro. That is sick, man.
Yep, has the back of the cab. No, this is just clipped together. I was actually messing with clipping this together while the show was running. And it's just temporary, just to kind of get an idea, make sure all the parts fit.
Yeah.
A similar version of that is a truck that I'm building for Jamie, who is he's the owner of, oh my gosh, the name eludes me now. He had a bunch of sponsored stuff there at the event. Not Blackjack, Black something.
Blacklisted RC.
Blacklisted RC. There you go. I'm telling terrible names. This is his truck, which is a class 1 competition version of that same body. So this is slightly chopped in the bottom,
Nice.
chopped in the back, and this is to be more competitive. Again, this one isn't completely done, but it's getting close. This also has a full cage on the inside, but the minimal amount of cage material to make it as lightweight as possible. This will not have the inner fenders and all that kind of stuff in it, but it will have a full floor and it will have a firewall and that kind of stuff.
Sergeant Major says Blake secretly loves samurais.
I wouldn't say I love samurais, but they're neat. I like them because for competitiveness, you can have a really short nose and a short tail, and it doesn't look weird. The thing I cringe when people cut bob and bodies. I like to see the body as close to original as possible. One example of that is the 2 competition trucks I have. So these are as probably cut down as I'll ever get. This will be my class 2 truck, and it started as a Ranger, and this actually is a full length Ranger bed. I just instead of the fender well being here, the fender well is like way out here. This one is the one that I competed this weekend at Supershafty Fall Crawl. I will say that I did at least get one -17 on a course, which is almost perfect. So I was pretty proud of that. The truck itself is a handmade chassis. I make them myself. They are hand formed out of 22 gauge stainless, I think it is.
Okay.
And they're formed over a steel stamp, and I just kind of paint the edges around. Again, this is a full cage. The inside here and all the shock hoops and everything are all integrated into the chassis. And the drivetrain I'm running in this is Team Garage Hack. It's their motor mount. It's not an on-call transmission, but it's a motor mount, spare gear mount, and then a transfer case for all the gear reductions in the transfer case. Super lightweight, super low center of gravity. Other than that, it's just SCX 10.2 axles with some upgrades. And this is a Holmes Puller Pro 2700 kV brushless motor in it, and a T-Can FXR speed control. The truck itself has got a real lot of wheel speed, and I cut some people off guard when I was up there crawling around, and I could like leap across gaps if I really wanted to. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with that drivetrain, but it works for right now.
That is sick. They were asking here, Raymond E. Tanner, brother. I post there links of. They were asking how to get those bodies, and you always have a waiting list on that. Always busy, but I post the Instagram there and also the Facebook page, and you can reach out to Blake.
The best way to get a hold of me is just to message me.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, I don't have any spots open for at least to the beginning of the year. If that, it might be longer. It's a part-time thing. I have a full-time job. I take care of kids. I have other priorities, and so when I can, I work on these, and they take an enormous amount of time.
Yeah.
You're probably looking. The body alone can go anywhere from say 15-20 hours on a super basic body to as much as 1,000 hours on some of the really detailed ones.
Okay.
Cage work is similar. I could probably have 40 to 60 hours just in one cage. So doing that stuff 1 or 2 hours in the evening, it adds up. And so I try the best I can. There's some guys that I've been working on cars for 2 years now, They're
Yeah.
very patient, and I really appreciate their patience. One of them is actually this one here, which will kind of get in a little bit more of the detail. So this is a Toyota cab that has all of the internal and external parts that a real Toyota has. So it's got, you can see the structure inside the roof. It's got drip rails. It's got a full floor. It's got firewall. It's got inner and outer rocker panels. It has the inner and outer door jambs. It's got the inner and outer cowl. So this is a real replica of a Toyota truck. Now, this one here, they go around $1,500, give or take, depending on what you're looking at. And that's a full truck mounted on your chassis.
So gorgeous.
It's currently the only one that I have that I can do that with. The all the other truck bodies that I have available, which I don't list them up anywhere. I normally wait if somebody asks which ones I have, I will send them a list of what I have.
Yeah.
Because it changes pretty frequently, so it's kind of hard to keep up with. But I am currently working on slowly making more of my bodies available with that much detail to them. Ultimately, I'd like to do that at some point in time, but for right now, the Toyota is the only one that's like that.
Yeah.
I do have some other projects that I've kind of gotten in the wings. One of them is, if you could show the picture, a Top Truck Challenge.
Oh,
truck.
yes. Let me get this picture here real quick so I can show it to everybody. Let me get this picture. Let me say later, Sergeant Major's gonna go eat. I saw Vanessa there. Thank you for stopping by, Vanessa. Miss you guys down there. Say hi to Larry, Mr. Larry down there in Cali. Our reps there from California. I can show this real quick here. So Blake can talk about this one right here. Look at this right here, man. This is sick.
Holy shenanigans.
Right?
I'm in love.
So that is, I'm trying to find the name here. It is RCEC's Top Truck Challenge. So if you go to RCEC's Facebook page, you will see that he has an event that he's putting on at his location. And the way it worked, I want to try to promote the crap out of this thing because it's going to be awesome. Anybody that's familiar with Top Truck Challenge, it was in Peterson's Off-Road magazine. I think it was Off-Road magazine or something like that. They were, people would submit a vehicle. You would post it. They would post it in the magazine, and then the public would choose who would go. And it was always, I think, 11 vehicles, and one, like, it would be 10 vehicles competitive, and one was an alternate or something like that. So, but if they would do events that were the log run and the mud pit and the mini Rubicon and the tank trap and sled pulls and all that kind of cool stuff, just to see who had the best of the best. Well, nobody's ever done an exact scale replica of the events.
No.
And so this guy has decided he's going to do that. And from the sounds of it, I don't know 100% for sure, but it sounds like he's going to try to replicate all of those events at his location. He is definitely doing it as a write-in, and he's only taking 15 trucks. So you submit your vehicle to the website or to the Facebook page. They will jury them down to 50, and then those 50 are going to get posted up online after November 25th, I think he said.
Mhm.
And then the general public will pick who they want, and then it will whittle it down from there to the top 15. The one thing that he said, though, that made me decide to do that was, if you make a replica of a truck that actually competed at some point in time, you instantly get into the top 50. So when I saw that they were going to have this event, I kind of had some ideas. I'm like, that'd be kind of neat to go. It's in Vermont, by the way. And when I saw this truck, it reminded me, because to me, this was probably the largest truck that ever competed in Top Truck Challenge. And he's known because he was one of the only trucks that rolled it after the event was over. So if you Google search on it, you'll find it. He tries to do a cyclone in a parking lot after the event and flips the truck on its roof. So it motivated me to work on some molds again. I had actually started working on these a while ago and then didn't quite finish them. And then when I saw this, I had to finish it. So this is the beginning.
Oh, let me present you here real quick. And Nick says here, Nick says here the wheels and tires for it should be here any day, and they will be on your way, Blake.
Yep. So this is being supported by several different people.
Sick,
Nick of, oh my gosh, Nick, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Remote
what
control.
the hobby shop is.
Remote control hobbies in Orlando.
There you go, Remote Control Hobbies in Orlando.
Yes.
So he's helping to sponsor it per se. I came up with the idea. I didn't have the means to get all the materials, so we made it a deal that I would build the truck. He would supply the necessary equipment to build the truck, and then he would receive it after the event was over. So then he becomes my co-driver, which is kind of neat. So if we get to the event, him and I both drive the truck, and then he gets to keep it and display it and do what he wants to it. There's a couple other people that are helping me with it as well. I'm trying to incorporate other drivers and other avenues. I'm going to mess his name up. Chris Roshgesh. I'm sorry, Chris. He works for RC Addict, or helps out with RC Addict when you go to events. That's how I knew about him. And but he also does 3D printing and 3D design. So I needed a way to make the interior components. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that can do it, but he kind of needed something to jump into and kind of mess around with. So I decided to go with him. Safari sent me a couple of prints or a couple images of some things he did, which is kind of neat. The interesting thing about this truck is it's very common for a mud truck, but not for RC. The motor, the actual engine itself is underneath the cab. Wow. So inside the cab, inside the engine compartment is just radiators and coolers and stuff like that. So I'm having him 3D print all those radiators and coolers and stuff to fit inside underneath the engine compartment. Nick is supplying the motor as well, and that's coming from Dion from Mr. Comedy, and that's going to be underneath the floorboards, just like on the real truck. The sides of the frame are just big, massive C channels, industrial C channels, and they got these multi-colors on them. So I talked to RC every day, and he agreed that he's going to do the patina work on this because I kind of thought of him when I saw the colors and thought it seems up his alley, let's put it that way. And so he's really anxious to get working on this thing. It is going to be using a set of RC four-wheel drive Blackwells. That's going to be kind of sketchy because they're known to be very brittle. RC four-wheel drive back in the day, even some of the stuff they have now, is not very durable. And these are big, massive parts. So I thought I wrote them down. Maybe I didn't. We are going to be utilizing Reefs RC servos throughout. I think it's 800s for the steering servos, and then I can't remember exactly which one it was for the winch. And trying to think of some other stuff we did. Oh, so I also have I wrote some of this down so I won't forget. Twisted Toys. So we have Twisted Toys. Casey from Twisted Toys does these really cool leaf springs, and I got with him a while back on a build that he wanted me to do for him, and he told me, he's like, hey, if you need anything for springs, let me know. So I hit him up and said, hey, I got this really crazy idea. Would you be interested in doing it? And he said, for sure. So he built the actual replica of the leaf springs on that truck, which are kind of unusual in that they have these like helper springs with big bushings on them in the front. It's kind of crazy looking. So it's a collaboration of people and the parts, which I think is more important than the event itself, is to kind of get these people together. And I'm hoping that the people that are helping out with this will be able to go along and see the event, which would be really cool too. But I want to get the word out there that this is going to happen, because there's a very short window of time to get your vehicles submitted. And I would like to get well over 50 vehicles submitted so we can see all these trucks that people have and build and stuff like that. I think it's really kind of cool.
That's awesome, man.
Some of the other things that I have working in the pipeline. You were talking about FMS.
Yes,
And
FMS.
so when I was at Beat the Creek, Paul came up to me, introduced himself, and I was like, Paul Hill. I didn't know who he was. And we chatted for a little bit. And later on, he said to me, he goes, well, I'd like for you to use some of our stuff in the way you build your things. And I thought I told him, thank you, but I don't like anything you have.
Love you, Paul.
He understood, because all the trucks that he had at that time were all 18 scale, or it was, I think the only one they had was the Dodge Power Wagon or something like that, which I'm just not interested in.
Yeah.
So all the 18 scale stuff, I don't want to get into that, because it fits in that kind of gray area of being practical for forming, and I just didn't want to bother. So fast forward a couple months, and I was talking to Jeremy, and he goes, well, they just released the F-40. And I said, really? So I looked it up. I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. So I sent him a message, and he goes, oh, okay, cool. And then a week later, it showed up at my door. And no questions asked. And I said, oh, this is great. What do we do with it? He goes, have fun. I don't care. Do what you want. So I immediately took it apart. and yes, I do have plans on making molds for this. So I will in the future have aluminum FJ40 body of this scale. And
Nice.
I don't like to call it 1/10, because that is not 1/10 scale.
That thing's huge.
It is massive. For those that have not seen one in person, it's probably closer to 1/8 scale than 1/10. And funny thing is, so because I had this chassis now laying around with no body on it, I went and chucked a body that my son painted and just said, go beat the crap out of it. I will have to say that they are very durable. Was not expecting that from FMS. I think somebody told me that it's a different company that makes the axles and stuff. I don't know for sure. I don't know much about them.
You'll be the one that knows about that. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody could chime in and say who actually makes the drivetrain, but they're super durable. I mean, I gave it to two 12-year-old kids and said, try to break it, and they couldn't break it. So, because I want to see what the weak points are in it, just out of curiosity. So, then I guess the last thing that I could talk about is a car that we had been working on for 2 years now.
Wow.
So 2 years ago at the Fall Crawl, Perp from Perp Mart came up to me and said, I got this crazy idea, and he wants to build a giveaway truck or a raffle truck. And I said, it sounds great. So I got with AJ, and he contacted a bunch of different vendors. I apologize because I do not know all the vendors in it. I messaged him earlier, but he didn't reply, so I don't know who they are. But I know Jesse said that at least one of them was corrupt, and RC Addicts,
You got
Ryan
it.
Cormester from RC Addict is going to donate batteries for this. The only thing we don't have right now is a controller, I think. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, if we're going to supply one or not. I don't know, but it does have a receiver and it's capable of being bound to a I think I have to look. Oh gosh, I don't remember. It does have a receiver in. I don't think it does have a receiver. Yeah, it does.
And I believe Matt and Jeremy was involved, right, Jesse, as well?
Yeah, Matt and Jeremy were part of it as well. I know it was Perp, Matt, Jeremy, Corrupt, Blake, and then now RC Addict. And AJ, of course. I want to think there was else, but I can't remember the other one.
So I know AJ supplied the time to assemble the chassis and the wheels, tires. Perp from Perp Bar did the paint. I built the body and the cage and the rear chassis assembly, you want to call it a tube chassis, whatever. It's got Reefs RC,
GH.
or I'm sorry, not Reefs, Shift RC,
Chip.
servos and winch in it. It's got a Puller Pro from Homes Hobbies, Supershafty drive shafts. It's got Treel solid axles and up whirls. It has Corrupt Carbon Works lower skid plates and the sidebars. I'm getting there. I'm getting them all. Team Garage Hack, I think, is the one that supplied the motor mount and the transfer case is Team Garage Hack. And I think that's about it. So, and you got a glimpse of it there, but this is the final paint job.
Wow.
It's
truck.
cool.
That is sick, man.
Yep.
That
So
is
you went with the space theme for the paint job.
I need to get this out.
That is sick. And look at the cage, man, in the back too.
And he also went through, he left the original stainless and added some rust into the corners, just a tiny little bit to kind of, just highlight where the welds would be. So you can kind of see it there. A little focus. A little bit. There it goes.
That is awesome. That is sick, bro. Amazing job, man.
Yep. So this will be auctioned in November. The auction will start in November. And it is going to be on AJ's site, Key City Hobbies. It'll be on the Facebook page, I believe, too, as well. It'll go for 1 month. I apologize, AJ, if I'm getting this wrong, but I believe we're going to go for 1 month so that we can pull the winner and then have it shipped to them before Christmas. That's kind of the plan.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So the estimated value of the truck is between $4,000 and $4,500.
Jeez,
So.
Same amount.
Again, thank you, and man, it's just incredible, Blake. It's just the amazing work and everybody that collab with that event. That's just incredible. Just man, we cannot thank you guys enough. That's just incredible details and job and time into that, man. That is sick, brother.
Oh, I forgot one thing to talk about.
Well, it's your show. We still got time, brother.
I was trying to think like, what did I forget? So this is actually something I was pretty proud of. So last year in class 2, I had a Toyota pickup truck. So that was the 2022 rules. Well, in 2023, they changed the rules. And I no longer was going to get points for my bodies. I was not upset about it. The rules are rules. And the reason why you don't get any bonus points is because they made a minimum material thickness. So if it's plastic, it needs to be 060. If it's metal, it's 030. My material is 005, and that's in inches. There's no way it's going to work. I cannot make something that's 0.030, 32nd of an inch thick is massive. So I thought of like, well, how is it going to change this? So I sold the old body and chassis, and I started from scratch again. Kept the drivetrain the same, and what I did was, I found that the Tamiya, how you want to pronounce it, Ranger pickup truck body is exactly 4.5 inches tall from rocker to roof. And so that gave me my minimum height. And it was also a very short body. If you see in this one here, the distance from the cab to the nose is about 1.5 inches shorter than a Toyota Hilux body. And so what I did is I manipulated my molds and I made a extended cab. And what that did is it gave me extra scale points for second row seats. There's 2 little jump seats back there. One of the other things I did too was I went to leaf spring suspension, and I will big time air quotes leaf spring suspension. This is actually a 3-link front and a 4-link rear with a monoleaf spring that goes from the front to the back.
Nice, bro.
And that's it. You can see the spring right here. And that is according to the rules legal, because it just says a leaf spring has to support the weight of the truck. And this does that. It just barely supports the weight of the truck. And so it's legal. I was talking to Dan Polinsky, or Dan P, who is part of Sorka, and he knew about this ahead of time. Like him and I chat a lot. So I sent him pictures of it, and he's like, "You're gonna go drive me crazy, aren't you?" So I wouldn't doubt if the rules get changed before next year about what the definition of leaf springs are. I'm fine with that. It's one of those things where I like to push the limits. I like to try to make things work within the rules, but yet as close to the edges as possible. One of the other things I did too, which I can show real quick, I did a cantilever suspension in the rear because I did not want to have the shocks. This is my extra guy for points, by the way. I did not want to have shocks pointing up through the floor because it didn't have that. So I did a lay down suspension with cantilevers. But in order to get the shock hoop points, I put a tiny little shock hoop right there at the edge of the shock. There's no definition of size. It just says it has to be a hoop connected to your shock. So
Nick says we need to start calling you Smokey Yannick.
Smokey Yannick, well, there's a reason why that's the two-tone it is, and why my Toyota last year was gold and black, because that was Smokey Yannick's colors. And I was gonna do all this stuff to that truck, but I didn't have enough time. So when I built this one, I did all the same things that I wanted to do to that truck, but I wanted to keep my colors since I had a logo now. And so I went with the same paint scheme, just different colors. So instead of black and gold, it's black and silver. Yeah. So when I'm working in a set of rules, I always like to find the limits of the rules, but not necessarily to cheat or win, but to be able to do the things that I like to do and still be competitive. So I'm still a heavy truck. It's 7 pounds, over 7 pounds.
Wow.
It's got a steel chassis, a steel cage in it. It's got a steel chassis in it. Yeah, it's steel frame rails. A lot of the guys I'm competing against are running tiny little aluminum roll cages. They're running carbon fiber chassis, and they're running all kinds of wheel weights in the bottom. And I'm still being competitive with those guys. So that's really all I'm shooting for, is to be able to be in that world of competition, but still do the things that I do, because I will not compromise. I want my metal bodies. I want to have the realism, but I also would like to be able to keep up with them. So, and that truck actually performed like exceptionally well. I ended up the first course, I was marginally good. I think I got like a +8 or something like that. The next 2 courses I got zeros on. And then the last course, I totally killed it. I got like an 80 something. But that was the one that I didn't finish because I didn't finish it. But it was the fact that I was able to accomplish that with that kind of truck was something else. So
Nick says, if you're not familiar with Smokey Yannick, it is an old legend in NASCAR for skirting the rules.
yes, he is very well known for skirting. He actually built a 15th, 16th scale 68 Chevy or Chevelle, I think it was 68 Chevelle. He built a complete car, just tinier than the actual production car, to try to skirt all the rules.
That is awesome. What awesome. Let me see here, Miss Portal Command Jeremiah. Thank you for stopping by, brother. Miss Annie, everybody jumping. Thank you. Jack, Chef Jack. Welcome in, brother. Good to see you here, Jack. Let me see here. Nick says Paul is one of the best guys in the industry. Super nice guy. Yeah, definitely, brother. Paul Wilhite, amazing person, man. Good guy right there. So that is awesome, man. Sick stuff there, Blake, man. Man,
Thank you.
everything you do is just a work of art, brother. It just handcraft, full
Then
is it just
Beats the
incredible,
heck
right?
out of him.
What was that, Jess?
Then beats the heck out of him and smiles the whole time.
That and that's what he wants.
Meanwhile, the of us are going, "Ugh."
Especially when I show up and I'm bright and shiny and not a single scratch on them, and literally just like leap it off of a ledge to get through a gate or something like that.
Or rip the door panel completely off and just love it.
Yeah, this guys here, all the O11C guys, man, a bunch of them pitching, and they got me a metal masher body, what, 2 USTs ago, and just having all fun. I was so happy. Went to the trails, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes Gabe, with the car. It was a TRX, yeah, TRX 4 Sport with metal bumpers, rear, front and rear, and just hit the side of the metal masher body. I was like,
It was like a real car accident. So
it does. We love you, Gabe. We love you, Gabe. But yeah, that was just incredible.
You know, you went home, try to pull out that dent.
Yeah, bro. It was, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and the details, everything that like Blake says, that he loved for people to to bash them, to use them, because that's why he wants the reality of that, just incredible, awesome job, brother.
Thank you.
Let me see. Yep, Blake gets a bump if you have it as a shelf queens on those bodies, man. They're meant to be smashed and used, right?
I do. I made one for a gentleman recently, and he flat out told me he was going to put it on a shelf, and I had to hang my head and said, "I know, it's okay."
Desmond drives his all the time. I've seen him drive his.
Who's that?
Des?
Oh yeah, Des loves the Samurai. I built him. He drives it a lot,
He
just
drives
like
all-
Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie got one of my Toyota bodies, and he just beats the snot out of the thing, and I love it. There is another guy, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, who has a blue truck of mine, and he's the same way. He just absolutely destroys that truck every time he drives it, and I think it's amazing. Actually, Wyatt Mellon has my Suburban from 2 years ago.
The green one?
It's like a aqua blue
Okay.
and white with the roof. That he owns that one, and he drives it all the time. He said it's probably one of his favorite trucks, and he drives it around. He sent me pictures of that from out in the King of the Hammers in California or something like that, and out just going through the mountains with these cool pictures, and it's just amazing. So
Yeah, huge shout out to Wyatt, man, a good friend, O11C, man, and he won the Worlds, right? A couple of weeks ago. Incredible driver and engineer, man. That guy's something else, man. Good guy and humble guy too.
Watching him run the Class 3 final course this year was incredible, because I don't even know how to explain it. The other 4 drivers that went up that course, they're excellent drivers, look like amateurs. I hate to say it, look like amateurs compared to when he went across that. He never even paused. He went through every single gate, went through every single bonus line, finished the course, and then after the course went back, drove to the bonus line he didn't finish. And I don't know how he does it. He's just inhuman.
He is. Yeah, that's how he is, man. And very humble guy, man.
Oh, absolutely. He's a great guy to hang out with. And he's young. He's only 26.
Yes.
I mean, he's got a long time ahead of him. And we just started saying that we coined the phrase, it's Wyatt doing Wyatt things.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch him do his thing and be so calm about it, and 0 spotters. He doesn't want anybody to help him.
Yep.
He does it all in his own head.
Yep.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Jason Edwards says, Blake, I'm asking Fly Sky to donate a radio package for the auction truck. I'll keep you posted.
Cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And he says Y is a robot. Yeah, definitely he is. He's a Terminator in the freaking RC World, and just incredible, man. RCK Cod, well, welcome in, brother. Good to have you here, man. We call that doing wild shit.
Yeah,
That
Lost
guy's
this weekend too. He had to pay out some money to a little girl this weekend.
oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about
what
The
happened?
raffles, because one of the big raffles, they break them down into like value. And then some of the bigger valued items, we get to put in like a ticket. We get to pick which one we want to go for.
Mhm,
One
mhm.
of which was from yours truly, Mr. Scale Rat over there, was a body that he had done.
Oh,
And I tried to win it. And there was like a Fly Sky remote. There was a couple of different chassis. There was a set of wheels. And Wyatt really wanted those wheels. And they
They were
made,
for a 1/6 scale. That's why you wanted them.
yeah. And they made a thing where they're like, Wyatt will pay you $2 if you pull his number. She pulled his number. And I think he actually gave her more than $2 out of it, if I remember
Well,
correctly.
he was the guy that was calling all the numbers and stuff. I forget his name.
All the numbers.
Who was it?
It was Kevin Martin.
Yeah, that's right. So Kevin, he said to Kevin, no, Wyatt said to Kevin, I'll give you $1 if you pull the number. And Kevin said, or no, it was the other way around. Kevin said something about giving her $1 to pull a number. And then Wyatt said, I'll give you $5.
She made out.
You made up. You got $5.
hey, Ryan is on the chat, live on RC Addict. How you doing, Ryan, brother? Good to see you here, bro. Ryan from RC Addict.
He had a
dang.
ball weekend with his SCX6. Brian did.
That's awesome.
He was out wrecking with it. And Ryan, I'm working on this right now. Ugh. I got a new project this weekend, and yeah, I'm working on it.
Daniel said that he gave her $10. That's
Was
awesome.
that what it was? I knew she got more than two because I don't think he had $2 bills in his pocket.
That is awesome. That is-
Better.
Yeah, she made out pretty good. I
Ryan,
actually AJ's daughter, I think.
Ryan said that he broke so much stuff.
He did, but he had a smile the whole weekend. He had a
Yes.
ball.
So I saw a pic. So that was that event. I saw a pic. I think it was an XCX6 that he broke the rear wheel. Something happened with the axles, right?
Yeah, Super Axel.
He lucked out. Somebody had what he needed. So he was back in action. You have to come prepared to that event with parts. I mean, there are several vendors there that supply some,
Mhm.
but you're gonna break something at some point or lose
Or
something.
something, yeah.
Yeah. Or yourself.
Or
Yeah.
yourself.
One guy in class 3 where he was rear steering and his tire caught the rear bumper that was like a titanium bumper with aluminum mounts and ripped the bumper through the aluminum mounts and ripped the cross members out and twisted the whole frame in a pretzel.
I was there when he did that and I made them take pictures. There are pictures because it was insane. How the
Yeah.
whole thing happened. Yeah.
It looked horrible, but we
It
got
did.
it back in shape.
Bad.
Yeah. We got it back and we took it apart. Like we kind of settled it back down. Like, well, really all you need is some bumper brackets. And I don't know if he ever finished or not, but we were trying to convince him to fix it and he was going to give up, but we're like, no, this thing's good. You're fine. So
Ryan said that he snapped the rear axle and Kevin sold him the set of used ones. And
Yeah. Nick, it's about 2 hours from AJ's shop at Key City in Frederick
okay,
where the event is. It's about 2 hours.
wow. And so and he brings some of his shop down there, right? So he
He brings a lot of his shop. He brings like the standard wheels, motors, trucks. But then he also brings a lot of the stuff that we might break along with him because he knows how it's gonna go.
drive shafts, axle shafts, whole axle, wheels,
Axle-
tires.
axle
Those
pretty-
things always get broken.
Links.
There was a guy that had an SCX3 portal and it was a plastic one, but he took the whole half the portal and broke it completely off the truck.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of it just kind of hanging there.
There's a lot of carnage that weekend, but you're either really mad or you're laughing.
You know which end of the spectrum I'm on in that.
Yeah, you kind of go, well, gotta go fix it, and you get time, go fix it, and if you can't, you can't. But it's a challenge. It is definitely a challenging course.
Oh, Ryan said that's why he doesn't bring his shop there because AJ has his.
Yeah, but Ryan, you have things that can bring stuff to you, so that works. He didn't have that with him on Friday, and he had it Saturday.
And that's cool for Ryan, man. Have fun down there because they're always every event that they go always they had that immense setup and the whole family there.
Yeah, it was RC Addict was there. J Concept was there with tires. Corrupt, of course, was there with all of the corrupt things. And then AJ has his shop. I think that was all the guys that were present.
There was Bauhaus RC and Helios RC.
Yeah.
They brought so Ryan owns O2 businesses as well.
Yeah.
And they brought batteries and stuff like that. That's the thing that AJ really didn't have.
Say hi to me.
Are we on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we got one of our reps here.
Hey guys,
Jared, how you doing, bro?
good. Came to spend a few minutes with my brother here.
I love it. I love that, bro. I love that.
He brought me a nice gift. Yeah.
FMS right there. That's awesome, man.
Supporting that operation of a tried FMS.
What's it?
It was a good little event. Glad that we got to spend some time with Paul and do a little networking and mingling.
That's awesome, man. So you guys had a blast out there, huh?
Yeah, it was a fun little event.
You met the Soy Major for in person for the first time down there too, as well.
No. Actually, remember we met at Axial Fest 21.
Oh, right. You're right. You're right.
Yep.
That's
When
awesome,
you meet Sergeant Major, you gotta stand at ease.
This isn't a good angle for my belly. This camera.
Hey.
Get down like this. Do I look skinnier, Rob?
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit. Rob says a little bit.
A bit.
So battle was eight, Jared. So battle was telling me, hey, battle, I'm gonna leave, man. I'm gonna leave. Yeah, I said, no, stay there, man. Just stay there. Because you text me and told me to go down there. So I didn't want you to leave.
Oh.
Yeah, luckily where he's at, it's only like maybe 18-20 minutes from my house. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what Operation 11 Charlie is all about there, guys. You guys
couple buddies.
I love my veterans, man. That's what we do, man. Just taking care of each other, man. I love that, man.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Oh.
Sweet, bro. Love it.
Well,
Just have fun, hang out, have fun out there, guys.
Yeah, we'll catch last bit of daylight here. Maybe put a couple rigs on the rocks.
Let's do it, guys.
Yeah.
Send me
We gotta make one at least a trip for the Cali guys to go down to the Florida guys.
Oh, definitely. Hey, next year. Well, we ain't having USDE, but the following year we will.
What about over there?
Guys,
Maybe we can make something happen over there. The little, there's that rock course over there you guys got.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down for it, man. I'll drive my truck all the way across the country. You know that.
Let's do it, brother.
Oh, I got to suck in the gut. Hold
Go
on.
ahead, Battle. Hey, Battle. I'm happy they just have fun with Jared, man. Before everything, goes dark down there, man.
Goes dark.
Yeah.
Is that code word? Goes dark.
Yep. Who?
We got to put our trucks on. I'm gonna make a truck, my 5-ton that I'm still working on. It's gonna have red lights, so when it go on night run, you know how we have that the red lights.
Yeah, on the
It's gonna go
military.
lights.
Cool.
We go lights out. We go dark.
Lights out, baby.
We go dark 30.
Let's go dark.
Love
Awesome.
you guys, man. Hey, thanks for letting me be on here, man. I have great fun, even though I'm just sitting there listening. I enjoy listening.
I love, we know we love you, Battle, and I'm happy that Jared's there with you and just have fun, man. Have fun, bro.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Hey, good to see all you guys, new faces, and I'm gonna hook up with you, brother Blake. Man, you got some beautiful stuff. I'm not kidding you. That's what I like. I'm at the point where I want a metal body. I'm like, I can't do that. I got a TIG welder, but I can't do that.
Hey, there's a wolf behind you.
No, that's
my baby girl, Trouble.
that's Trouble. Come here, Trouble. Come here, Trouble. Don't go over there. That's dirty. Good
Yeah,
girl.
man, he does an amazing job, Battle. Wait until you
Yeah.
see him in person, man.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna head out. Me and Jared, we're gonna do a little running. Whoa.
Hey, send me pics,
That's
man. Send me pics.
Yeah. All right, brothers.
Take care,
All
bro.
right, me familiar.
Be safe, bro.
All right.
Love it, man. Man, I missed the shot. Missed the chat. Anything in there? It goes like going back and forth there. We really appreciate. Oh, he don't. I kick you out real quick. Hold on a sec. I will kick you out.
Oh, there we go. All right, I'm out. Love
Take
you
care,
guys.
bro. Take
Peace.
care, bro. Awesome. So we got a couple of our veterans from Operation 11 Charlie down there hanging out down there in Cali. Awesome, man. I love that. What else, guys, man? Blake, man, what else you want to talk about, brother? This is your show. We got about 50 more minutes. I've been posting the link of and Blake mentioned it earlier, man. His waiting list for anybody, just he has only a few. Just be patient, right, Blake?
Yeah, it's I wish I could do more, but it's again, I do have plans in the future to say within the next, I'm gonna say 8 years. I hate to say it that way, but it's probably within the next 8 years. I want to do this full time and make a legit business out of it.
Awesome.
It's gonna kind of correlate with me retiring from work. So I'm in the slow process of trying to work out the logistics of making it a full-time job. Right now, I do have some ideas for some bodies that I'm working on. I guess I could show you that. What do I do with it? So I have, oh my goodness, what do I do with it? So I have a couple bodies that I have that I'm working on for.
Okay, let me put you on here on the spotlight so people can see you. Welcome, Defender Custom, Isaac, brother.
We'll do this. We'll walk over to my wall of bodies or molds. So these are, this is part of the wall of molds that I have. There's roughly 400-ish molds here. Some that I have started but are incomplete. Like I have a 56 F100 mold right there that I'm working on.
Nice.
There is a 55 Chevy Nomad that I'm working on here. And when I say I'm working on it, is there's certain portions that are already cut out and ready to go, like the door, but this is not. So you can see it's been there for a while. But this is the hood, cowl, and top of the fenders ish. They would be, I would cut the fenders off, I would cut the roof off, cut the cowl, separate it from the hood, and then that would be 2 molds out of that one. Some of this other stuff, like, well, there's another one here. This is just a casting for the grill. So it needs to be
that. Yeah,
it needs to be separated from the rest of the hood and the fenders. All gets thrown away, and then you're left with just a grill section. When I'm casting from the liquid silicone molds that, or not liquid silicone, directly from the hard plastic bodies, or Lexan bodies. Man, I can't talk right now. When I'm casting directly from a Lexan body, I end up getting a lot of flash, a lot of stuff that's unusable. I have
some of
it. You have some of it?
I do. You gave me some. You send things home with my kids when they come to visit.
Oh, well, yeah, there's, I try to give them some things to kind of have as mementos.
With that, and they can learn. Oh, but Matt had a a comment to show us your demolition derby car. What started it?
Oh, well, actually, he is correct. It's not a derby car, but it is what started it. So up here in the corner, there's actually two of them. So when I was, I don't know, teenager-ish, I mean, I don't remember exactly the year, but it's somewhere in the mid-90s. I took a wooden molds and used the wooden molds to make trucks that kind of resembled NAS trucks at the time. I'll say like a 92, 93, 94 Ford F-150. And that's what this is. So this is actually one of the first bodies I ever made. And I made it sometime in the early 90s. And it is actually, and Nick would probably cringe when he saw this. I'm gonna try to take some. It is a original black chassis RC10 Champ. You can see it there. And it is brass cages. I didn't know how to weld at the time. I was young. And I made 4 of these cars. And I don't think I've completed the 4th one, but I did make 4 cages. And me and my brother and a friend of mine would race these things wherever we could. The local track would let us run, we'd run there. But these were actually raced on dirt oval and then eventually turned into like asphalt oval. Raced on once or twice on asphalt oval. But this is what started it. And this was my first time attempting gluing on this body, because before this I would try to bolt them together and it wasn't really working well. This had some kind of weird stuff that I did. This bumper is fairly rigid because it actually made a textured design behind it of multiple layers, kind of like corrugated cardboard, to hold up to the impacts of racing. But I wanted it to dent. I didn't want it to be actually solid. So it's just kind of some weird things I was doing as a kid. I do have several of these. So that was my personal car. This one was my brother's.
Oh, nice.
And he was a huge fan of the fire company he worked for, which is Company 19, and that's what the number is. Either he drove better than I did, or I was just more aggressive. I don't know, but my truck's much more big. But it was cool. I mean, it was something to get into, and I had to just figure it all out as I was going. And that's why some people ask, how did you do it, or how did you get into it? It was really just necessity. I was obsessed with realism. I was obsessed with making the cars look like real wrecked cars. Now that was the first of getting into RC cars. But when I first got into actual just aluminum foil cars was the other ones I have here. Now for this, I haven't seen this before because I did show this on the last time I was in. But these are the actual cars I made when I was probably between the ages of, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old. And so these are cars made out of household aluminum foil and just wrapped. I mean, I just wrapped it around in this case, it wasn't even a Matchbox. It was like a plastic. It was like almost a rubbery plastic Volkswagen Rabbit that I did a lot of these on.
I used to play with them.
There's a couple other ones in here. So there's.
I would come to his house to visit. We would play with those.
Yeah. She would remember, like, hey, we're gonna go smash cars today.
Yeah, I remember those.
Oh yeah, and then that moved up to making them larger, which in this case was 1/25th scale. These are all based off of 1/25th scale models. Again, I kept every single one of these. Just I don't know what it is. Just something about. I just felt like I had to. Like I didn't want to get rid of the history of what I did. Like there's a Camaro, and these were all done starting with like a one-piece mold. You take one piece of foil, wrap around the car, and you can see where it's got folds in the corners, and it doesn't look very realistic nowadays as far as I'm concerned, but at the time I thought it was great. Like, this is amazing. So then I started dabbling into individual sections. So this would be like a 1940s sedan, 40 Ford sedan. And you can see I started making them two separate parts. And that gradually went up through.
Definitely Nick, brother. Definitely said. Nick says while the rest of us were playing with the Matchbox cars that had the doors that would flip over and be wrecked, Blade was just making a whole car as a kid.
So this whole box is filled with car bodies, all from the same era. These are some of the ones that now they have nothing underneath because I actually made a rolling chassis, cages, and I would put the bodies on cages and we'd run them into each other. They're so fragile. It's like it's hard to even pull them out to look at them because of just how fragile they are. That graduated up to larger ones. This one's actually completely destroyed, but believe it or not, that used to be a panel truck. But this gives you a good idea of what I would do for frames. I would take aluminum, roll it up into a tube, and that would be the frame. And then I would use brass for the axle shafts, and then that would roll easier. And then they were all one body. I wouldn't keep taking the bodies off the chassis. It progressed more and more into trying to make it realistic. I can go on. There's another whole box of cars.
The Matchboxes we used to play with all the time.
Yeah, filled to the top with Matchbox sized foil cars. It gives you an idea of the obsession. Now, all of that started from this.
Oh.
So this was a kit that was manufactured in the late 70s. And you can see it's from Remco. It's called Clark's Car Crusher. I got this for Christmas one year. I think I'm in 1981 or 81, something like that. So I would have been 6 years old. And this isn't the actual one I owned. It's totally long gone. But this kit is what started the obsession. Because when I realized I could take that and smash it and see damage, and then when the molds broke or fell apart or got lost, I was looking at my Matchboxes. I thought, I can do that with Matchboxes. And that rolled into model cars, and that rolled into RC cars. And it turned into what I have today of making these things up here.
That's so cool, man. Oh, shit. Shelly's in the chat. How you doing, Shelly? Good to have you here. The RC Addict family in the chat. That's awesome, man. Love it.
And but the nice thing is to have a family of RCers that support me. Yeah. And that is a big thing, because when I was doing this, trying to race, there was no support. They would not. I would go to racetracks and they would say, no, we don't want you here, because some of it was because it was different and they just couldn't wrap their heads around how different it was. Yeah. And some of it was they were scared like they were going to get hurt. And I was like, no, it's just aluminum. You know, they think, oh, it's got to be super heavy. And no, it's not any heavier than another RC car with maybe one extra battery or something like that. So it was really kind of strange that growing up and not being, not being supportive of the people. And actually, it got to the point where I kind of gave up on it. I would build them for myself to kind of bash around a little bit, but really didn't do a whole lot with it through my high school years. And then in 2005, when I saw RC Crawler, well, before it was even RC Crawler, it was on the 4x4. What was it? Gosh, I can't remember what it's called now. The actual 4x4 website where RC Crawler came from. I can't think of what it's called now off the top of my head. Pirate 4x4, that's what it was. So Pirate 4x4 had a subcategory of RC crawlers. And the guys that were running that, Tim Samuels and a couple others, started RC Crawler, the forum, the message board. And that was where I was like, wait a minute, now this makes total sense. Now I can make these bodies and drag them over rocks and run them in the trees. That sounds like a better idea. And so that's when I started. My original one was to take the wooden molds I had and I built a scaler. And I was probably one of the first people to make my truck lower instead of taller. I had a bruiser or a mountaineer, and I put the springs under the axles instead of above them, and put tinier tires on it so it looked more realistic. Yeah. People thought it was crazy. Like, why are you doing that? Like, because I wanted to look like a real truck. And then there's a video out there that kind of, that's one of the few videos I have that's got like over 100,000 views to it. And it's my Jeep, was it a flat fender Jeep that I had? And actually I still have that one. The flat fender Jeep.
Welcome, Bill, Swampers RC, man. Thank you for stopping by, Bill.
So it was a flat fender Jeep, that one there. And it was mounted on it was TLT axles, and gosh, it was like just flat plate chassis, and it was just all kinds of hodgepodge parts. And I drove this one. I can't remember if it was the red one or the green one. I found them both here. So this is the red one. Same chassis, same truck. I think this one might have been the first one I did. But there's a video where I backed it into a rock, like on purpose, when it was brand new. And everybody just went crazy. They were cringing, like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." And that was where the craziness all started, of watching me giggle while I'm destroying my vehicles, during competition. But that was at Sam Lewis State Park, and we had gosh, what the name of the club was now. I'm terrible with names. Susquehanna Valley Scale Crawlers, that's what it was. SVSC. So that was the first club that I was in, and we would hold competitions at Sam Lewis State Park, which is in York, just about an hour north of me. And they were great because it's all natural terrain, it's all granite, so it's like driving on sandpaper. All the traction in the world. The first 10 years of me crawling, I didn't even know there was such thing as waterproofing, because there was no water. Yeah, we were just on a dry mountainside, a hillside, I guess you could say. And it wasn't until we started seeing these scale events come around 2010, 11, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, you make sure your truck's waterproof." And I was like, "Why would I want to make it?" I was of the mindset growing up as a kid, you never touched anything water related with your RC car. You just didn't do it. And it took me a while to get to accept the whole driving through mud and water thing. But once I finally did it, I realized, it's not that hard to make it waterproof. And I learned a couple hard lessons on what you can and can't waterproof, and how you waterproof it, unfortunately. But I ended up embracing it for a while there. I don't do a lot of it now, just because I don't have a place to go mud bogging. But I know it's definitely, the cool thing about it is that the crawler community embraced what I did completely, and they allowed me to flourish and allow me to do all this stuff. I went from people not even wanting my trucks to be in their facility to I can't build enough trucks fast enough to keep people happy, So that's a crazy thing, and that's what I just love about the crawler community. And it doesn't seem to matter who it is. I mean, I think Wyatt Mellon, who's the elite level competitor, wins national events and all that stuff. You would never think that he'd be super interested in a beat up old truck or like metal body like I do. And absolutely, he loves it. And then you get some other guys who have never even seen Sorka competitions, but they want my truck too because of how realistic it is. So it's kind of neat to be able to go like all ends of the spectrum of people. And I was hoping I could get more people interested in actually competing with my bodies. You're not going to see it very often until they change the rules, I think, to allow scale points for mine again, or if they change them to allow scale points. I don't know that I'll ever actually sell a competition body. Jamie's got one, and he's not even sure if he's going to compete with it now because it complies with the new rules, but it doesn't take advantage of the new rules. Let's put it that way.
Ryan says that he remembers when you were using those axles. That was it, the TLT axles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he remembered those builds, and Nick says now those TLT axles are worth a bank.
Yeah, I could show them that too.
See Matt's comment about his remote.
Say 2 years ago, I was crawling with Blake. My man busted out a remote with a 5-foot antenna and a pocket full of crystal. He loves old school stuff.
If Nick says that's true, well, he might like this box.
Hold on, let me present you real quick, brother.
Lord.
Oh my goodness. Look at that,
That's
Nick.
all
Ryan.
all TLT axles and axle parts in there that I gathered over the years. I mean, I've got like all kinds of custom parts. I think there's 9 or 10 housings in there. I have just like bags of gears and axles, and I've got Wheelie King axles here. Like I've got some of the straight ones, fully built ones. I got original. This is a
Everything.
whole bag of just SCX 10, or not even SCX, just SCX axles, like this whole bag full of SCX axles.
He keeps everything.
That's crazy. Man. That's
Yeah, so I've had a lot more stuff. And I mentioned it before. I went through hard times and decided to get rid of a bunch of things, but I don't regret it. It's part of life. You know, you move from one thing to another. I kept some of the cool stuff like that and got rid of stuff that was unnecessary. But it was good because it actually made room for me to build other things. And it's kind of neat too, in that my mindset about my cars changed. I used to be that once they got in my possession, they never left my possession. But I realized too that other people can enjoy what I do, especially if it's mine personally, and I built it for myself. And I think, well, I'm done using it. It's just going to sit on a shelf. Somebody else might enjoy it better. So, you know, when I'm done with it, sometimes I'll sell them. Sometimes I won't. Depends on what they are. I know the one that I probably will never sell is the one that a certain someone really, really wants bad.
Yes, I definitely want that one.
That one's gonna stay right there.
All right.
That is sweet, man.
I will say that I am super happy to have some excellent hands put on that truck to get the look that it has. So
I think
yeah.
you used it for the first time in Hartford Rocks a couple of years ago, right? That's when you brought it in? Because I saw that one in person and it wasn't smashed at that time, if I'm not.
Well, it's not really smashed. It looks a lot more aggressive. It looks a lot more worse than it did before because Robert put his miracle touch on the paint job and made it look really much
That
more.
made it look a lot worse than what it really was.
Highlighted all of the dents and stuff like that, which I think looks really cool. That truck was built. I started building that truck in 2006. So it's been slowly in progress for 16 years, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, gosh, it's been longer than that. 2006. Yeah, it's been like 17 years. That is a collaboration too of a couple different people. One of them was a good friend of mine. His name, I can't remember his last name. His name was Rob. I can't remember his last name. He built the knuckles for it, which are a hybrid of SCX10 outers and I guess I could show it. SCX10 outers and Tamiya axle itself.
Brian says there's a bunch of people that want it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that want this truck. So this is an original Bruiser axle, and then it's a it's an adapter that my friend Rob made. And then this is an SCX10 outer knuckle. And that allows me to run an SCX10 shaft. And then on the outer and the inner is the stock Toyota, the stock Tamiya axle shaft. It makes it for a much more robust, and I'm able to run regular hexes. A lot of the other, so the this is of course the complete Toyota body with all the functioning doors and everything like that.
Yeah, yes.
But it does run a leaf spring suspension. That's a handmade, that I did the handmade suspension. The jewel in it is the motor from Mr. Comedy, and this is the one where I have a 380 size brushless motor, which allows me to run. But he did such a great job on the patina that you can't even see it now.
That's all right.
Completely contained brushless motor. I have a mimicking of a 22R motor and a T56. That's a T56 Toyota transmission that's completely covered, covering a planetary drive. So the underside of the truck, I'm kind of being ginger because the body's not attached right now. It's just kind of this prop on there. But the underside of the truck looks completely like a real truck, but is fully functional.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can throw a battery in it right now and drive it. So all the electronics and everything are contained within the cab.
Be careful, my baby. Be careful, don't drop her. That's my
Don't
baby.
drive it. It's all right. It'll add to the patina. But that's one of the trucks that I have no trouble driving it. I drive it very gently. I mean, I drive it like a normal truck. You know, it's another question I get a lot is how do you make them last, or are they going to last more than 5 minutes? And they can or they can't. Depends on how you want to do it. That truck right there, both of those trucks went through hands down the hardest courses in the country, and still came out looking like that. I mean, that's probably the worst damages on the door right there. And it could have been even less than that if I wouldn't have been so aggressive. Just depends on what you want to do with it. That Toyota truck set almost 20 years on that same truck, and the body's surviving just fine. I've got hundreds of batteries through that truck. But I drive it conservatively. If I think I'm going to roll it, I back off, or I use a winch. You know, I don't go to the like diving into holes and jumping it and stuff like that. So it just depends on your driving style. I know there's one job right now where I have the guy wants an extra cage on it. I'm fine with that. That way he can be a lot more aggressive with it and it'll last a lot longer. And so other guys don't mind totally destroying it, like Ryan. Ryan's good at totally destroying his truck, but he built the body on that one. Ryan Kornmesser. Jamie's another one. Jamie is not afraid to drive his truck. So, but I can get at least a full season out of hard competition with my truck.
Fully submerged at Wet and Wild in Georgia. I thought it was gonna float away because it's so light, and it went completely submerged underwater. I was nervous. I was shaking. I'm like, I can't find it because I lost connection with the receiver and everything. And I was like, I know. But they are a blast to run. And hearing the clinking and the clanking, you know, stuff hits it. We hit the trail a couple of times with Jeremy. And that's a lot of fun. Just a bunch of metal trucks out there just smashing around. You know, it's a blast. Everybody should have one, but wait 8 years.
Wait 8 years, yeah.
So what I'm planning, and I've done this before. We talk about waiting. When I am ready to start taking jobs, I normally do a batch of about 10 to 12. And what I'll do is I'll open it up and say, okay, I'm ready to take 10 jobs. Poor dog is just driving me crazy. I said, I'll wait to take 10 jobs, and the first come, first serve. When they're filled, I'll stop taking orders, and then I will jury each one. So I will contact each person, see what they want to do. there's times where I'll say, no, I don't want to do that because they'll come up with some kind of crazy thing. You can make a tractor trailer for me. And I go, no, I'm not going to do that. So then I whittle it down to the 11 that I want to do. The 11th one is really an alternate. And because almost guaranteed one of them will back out at some point in time. So that way I try to solidify at least 10 solid jobs. And once I get a deposit of half down of whatever the total is we agree to, then it gets put onto the active, I'll call it an active list. I'm not going to be working on it right away. It just becomes, those are the jobs that I have in my queue. And guaranteed, you're probably looking at a year wait until you're going to, up to a year until you would get it. So some of them I can do within a few months. I can get it back to you within a few months. Some are going to be later than that. But when I try to, I kind of do it like an artist in a sense. I can't just stay focused on one truck and go from beginning to end, because I'll sometimes get stuck. I'll be like, I can't think of how I want to do this. So I'll jump into another customer's truck and work on those because I know exactly what to do with that one. And then once I get, it'll snap. Oh, that's what I want to do. I'll jump back on the other one and work on that one again. So I could have 4 or 5 trucks running simultaneously at one time. I have it right now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 trucks right now that I'm actively working on simultaneously. I try to keep in contact with everybody on a regular basis and tell them like, hey, I'm working on this, or I'm not. I apologize to those that I haven't recently. There's a couple people where I have not gotten back to in a while. I got really busy this last summer and just kind of got off track. So I am going to try to get in contact with everybody that I have jobs on currently and tell them their status. I just try to tell people, be really patient. This is just, I want to try to keep it a hobby / art / somewhat of a business. So I try to keep up with it as best I can, but I don't want to put out junk. So I'm not gonna rush through a project just to get it to somebody if it's and sacrifice quality. I won't do it. There's times too where once I come up with a price too, I never change it. I don't change on the person. So if I come and find out that I have to completely redo the whole body, they're not going to know because I'm not going to tell them. Because I want it to be right. And I actually have it right now. I have 2 of these cabs. There's 2 jobs that I'm working on currently. And actually, I think it's this one. So the customer wanted a specific type of motor that required a recessed area in here. Well, I created a standard cab. And as soon as I got it done, I realized it's not going to work. Well, I can't go back. Once it's glued together like this, I can't take it apart. So now I'm making a whole nother cab that has the correct inset in it for this customer. And so it's not even a matter of like cutting this out. It just isn't going to work. I have to actually start from scratch. So I have to completely make a whole nother cab from beginning to end in order to complete the job. But that's my dedication to being precise and being clean. I want you to get what you're paying for. I want you to get a good product. It also separates it from some of the other people out there that are making them, which I have no trouble at all. I'll tell anybody how to do this that asks. I have no problems because I'll never be able to keep up with this. So if somebody wants to make a business out of it, go right ahead, because every day I get requests for these things and every day I turn them down. So I've had several people, I've had many people ask how to do it. I've walked people through the process. 9 chances out of 10, they come back and go, thanks for all your help. I made one. I'm done. When can I give them the list? You can, Ryan Kornmesser will attest to that. He was the only person that I agreed to make molds for, because one of the things I don't like to do is making molds. It's not even a matter of releasing secrets or anything like that. It's just, it's so time consuming to make the mold itself that, oh my goodness, it's so time consuming to make the mold that I would never be able to, I couldn't justify charging what I would need to in order to get what I put into it. So I avoided as much as possible, but him and I made a good deal. He's a friend of mine, and he was going to make them and sell them in his store. And he could probably tell you how many he made. I think it might have been less than half dozen.
Yeah.
And
He's saying,
and then-
he's mentioned it on the chat, like,
He made 10.
he made 10.
he made 10. There's less than a dozen. He made 10 of them, and then sold the molds to one of his employees.
You have 2 offers for that cab.
One from Ryan, the other one from Nick. How
For the
about
cab?
for the cab? Yeah.
The cab's already been spoken for.
Uh,
They know. The person knows.
and Shelly says that it's worth the wait, you know, for the again.
I hope so. And honestly, I do have to commend the people that I will call my customers. They are really, really understanding most of the time of what I do. And I try to be upfront. I'll tell them this isn't going to be quick. I want to give you a quality product, something you're going to be happy with, something you're going to be worth your investment. I did have one person that I told him it would be 6 months until I get to start working on it. And I think they took that as it would be done by 6 months. And they started kind of harassing me a little bit. And I said, well, let's make a deal. I made a deal with them. They allowed me to finish it. And they were still happy with the product, which is ultimately all I'm looking for. As long as they're happy with the product, the end result, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm looking for. Oddly enough, they almost immediately sold it. I'm not going to say they made a profit on it. They sold it for a reasonable price. I guess I have seen there's a couple people, they get them, and then once they're in their hands, they go, I'm scared to death of this thing. I don't want to touch it wrong. And so they end up selling them. But ironically enough, I ended up getting that chassis back. And actually it's this chassis here. So this is the chassis the one that I showed earlier. I made this for a customer, and we had a disagreement at first. I settled it over email, and he got it, he liked it, decided to sell it, sold it to somebody else who didn't handle it properly and absolutely destroyed the body just by handling it, throwing it in a bag, picking it up wrong, whatever you want to say.
Yep. Yeah.
So after that person sold it to another guy, which I apologize for the guy, I can't remember his name at all. He came to me and said, hey, could you fix the body? So I said, sure. This was at USDE this past year.
Yeah.
So I spent the weekend straightening the body out the best I could. And I had another one similar to this that was for sale. That was my show display truck for the weekend. And by the end of the weekend, he said, is that sold yet? I went, no, nobody came up with the cash. He goes, can I take partial trade? So I forget how much it was, a couple bucks for just the chassis, not the body. Actually, no, you did tell me both of them, for the chassis and the body. I sold the body to a separate person that I'm now making. It's actually right behind me. It's that one right there. That's the actual body. And I sold that to somebody else to make a chassis for. And then I ended up making a fresh new body for the cage for this one. And then now I'm finishing that project for somebody. So it's interesting. That came full circle back to me, that I was able to reutilize something that, the guy, it was weird that they got it and they were happy with it, and then they moved on, and then somebody else got it and they came back to me, and it's just really this cool full circle of life kind of thing.
That is so awesome, man. Again, Blake, just incredible. That's just incredible talent, man. It's just work of arts. If you guys have an opportunity to be in an event and Blake is there, or anybody has one of those bodies that Blake has made, man, take a look at them, because it's just incredible, the details and everything that goes to it. Just incredible, man. Incredible.
Next year, I do plan on making it to more events. So far, this past year I was at USDE, and I was at Beat the Creek. But I do want to try to make it, and I was at the Fall Crawl. It's difficult for me to get out and get to events, being that it's I have a full-time job,
Yeah.
I have kids and all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna try to make it to more events, just to kind of be at more places, because I get a lot of people asking me, where are you at? I want to see your stuff. And so I'm gonna try. I can't say which ones they are now, I just don't know. But I'm gonna try to make it to some more events, and I'd like to get to at least one of the Pearl Line by the fires. Depending on which one it is, but obviously probably the closer one, just because it's a little more affordable. My biggest problem is getting to an event. I can't fly because I have so much stuff that has to go with me. It's not feasible or economical to ship it. So I pretty much have to drive. So, but I have no trouble driving the 16 plus hours down to Florida. So gauge that how you will. That's kind of about where I'll be going, wherever that, ends me up in the midfield. So
That is awesome. Out of South, freaking Nick says, Ryan, when we are getting starting RC Anonymous. Oh my goodness. Guys, man, again, Blake, thank you so much, bro, for being here. We always appreciate you coming in, brother. We love having you and showing us all amazing talent. The builds that happened, that build that you show us for the first time here, everybody that saw it for the first time. That's sick, man. We cannot thank you guys enough. And it's gonna start. The auction is gonna start in November, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me put you back on.
yep. For those that haven't seen yet, if you came in after I showed it, this is they're going to be raffled off on not ours, I'm sorry. Gosh, my brain went blank again. Sorry, just save me.
Key City. It'll
Key
be
City
on.
Hobbies, there you go. You go to Key City Hobbies website, Facebook page. They were going to, that's gonna be the location to the link for the raffle, and it'll be auctioned off through the month of November. And then the plan is to have it in the mail and hopefully to you by Christmas. I have no idea what the prices are going to be for tickets and stuff. We're still working on the details out for that. But this has all really good top end parts in it. It's worth about $4,000 to $4,500. So you're going to get a good high quality trail and or competition truck. You can compete class 1 in this easily. Yeah. So it's a really fun job for our collaboration between me and AJ and Perp and Shift RC and yeah, all the guys that contributed to this. And we'll have a list of that on the Key City Hobbies page. Will be a list of all the people who donated to it and all the components that are in it as well.
Shelly's saying that tell her what size of Helios batteries will fit on that, and I will and he will give it to someone for that rig.
He needs to know what size is going to fit inside that truck so that she can ship them to get them to.
What size battery?
Battery, yes. Yeah, Helios battery will fit on that.
So they know which ones to get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll give her I'll send her the dimensions to Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome, guys. Again, man, it's just incredible. Blake, man, you're always welcome, man. We cannot thank you enough, bro. I guess immense talent, just incredible. Everybody that were in those events all over the states. Thank you for being there, Josh, brother. Out there in Oktoberfest. We have Lonzo Sergeant Major, Jared Sergeant Major were at their FMS festival, right? Operation 11 Charlie and FMS. And Jess was out there at the Supershafty, right? Event down there. And Blake was present there as well. Thank you everybody that support that event, man. It just went crazy in that Friday night event for Operation 11 Charlie. They raised what, $6,400?
Just over $6,400.
Over $6,400 for that event. It's just incredible. Thank you everybody that was involved in that, man. Just incredible. Thank you so much. And then we're gonna start saying our goodbyes, guys. I've been posting again where you can reach out to Blake, and so you can see his stuff, man. Incredible art that he, talent that he had. It's just incredible, guys. So, if anything else you want to mention, Blake, before we say our goodbyes.
No, not really. Just make sure you check out the Top Truck Challenge.
Oh, yes.
information. I want to try to help promote that guy because I think he's got a really cool event going.
Trevor, Trevor, right? Trevor Rushmore.
Yep. And yeah, just go to Key City Hobbies website Facebook page and put in as many as you willing to put in for the raffle. It's a great prize, and we're hoping to raise a ton of money for you guys.
That's just awesome, brother. I think that's it. So we're gonna start with Josh, brother.
Thanks for having me. It's always a good time. And if you haven't seen those Metal Masher trucks, I saw them at Beat the Creek. They're amazing. So thanks for having me, and night, everybody.
Thank you, Josh, bro. Thank you, appreciate it. Dennis, bro.
Thanks for having me on, Javier. It was nice to hang out and hear what Blake has to offer with these bodies. Those are pretty cool. Thanks everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on the way out.
Definitely appreciate you, my brother. Robert.
Go. What's popping? Well, thank you everybody that's in the chat. Love you guys week over week. All your support. You guys are the best. Blake, my buddy, my friend, I love you. That green will go home with me one day. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but one day it's coming my way. But thank you again for everything that you do for this hobby. You making these aluminum metal bodies is just, it's mind blowing. Like, you really don't get the idea until you actually see it in person. Like
yeah.
We watch it here on the computer, but when you see it and then like you lightly touch it, when I put mine on display, I have so many people coming up to it, flicking it. You know how many dents I have just from flicking? So people, don't do try not to do that. Yes, it's metal. But the realism, like the real dents that puts in it, it's, I don't know, I love it. But this is what I do. Like, this is my favorite part. Give me that beat up rusty truck and you add so much more passion to this hobby for me. It's incredible. I really love it, man. I love what you do. I love you. You're just an awesome, great, chill person. Just keep
Yes, definitely. I love Nick. Nick said, look at Pass, I bought him up for the truck. That's awesome.
Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Everybody, keep your eye out for next month's issue of RC Car Action magazine. You might see something special.
Yep. Keep an eye on that, guys. Keep an eye on that. Definitely. Jesse.
Oh, okay. One thing, Rob, I do know where he lives. I do accept briberies.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not far. I'm just saying. But thank you everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for being in the chat. Thanks, Cuz, for hanging out, even though you didn't tell me you were going to be here tonight. I had to find out through somebody else. And thank you to all of our veterans, our current, our active, our retired, and to your families. Thank you. Thank you for everything you guys have sacrificed and you do for us. It means the world to us. And everyone have a great week.
Thank you for those kind words. Yes, thank you for all our reps on Operation 11 Charlie or veterans like Jess mentioned and their families, man. You guys made what we are right now. So it just pretty much appreciate it. Talking about before I go to our goodbyes from Blake, we have an outing here in Operation 11 Charlie here in Florida, so it's going to be this Saturday. So looking forward to we have a few new veterans that are going to be going with us for the first time. So I'm looking forward for that outing this Saturday. Blake, brother, so you can say your goodbyes.
Thanks everybody for having me on here. I always enjoy being around groups of people that just appreciate what I do. Like I said, I guess I am humble. I think I'm just some weird guy making metal cars. Other people think otherwise, apparently. But no, thank you very much for having me back on here. I love talking about what I do, and I just embrace it and enjoy the adventure, and hopefully I can continue to do it. So far my hands still work. So as long as that happens, I'll keep making bodies.
We got a next time. One time when we have you, you were making some parts of it, so people will show. I think the next time we gotta bring you so you could do a little bit of that, so people understand how much work and detail goes to that, man. And so
Sure.
while we doing the show, you'll be working on that, like kind of what Robert does here, is painting and doing scale stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Blake. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys for the support. We really appreciate you, Nick, Ross, all our Asiatic family in the chat. We love that. Thank you, brother, for stopping by. Everybody for your support. Let me see who we have next Monday. We have some good guys coming in this Monday coming up. Next Monday we will have RC Patina in the house. So Eric, RC Patina, will be here with us hanging out, guys. That's on the 16th. Yeah, next Monday, RC Patina, Eric. So that's another awesome show.
Sweet. So maybe me and him can go head to head on here. Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do a paint off during it. That'd
A
be fun.
paint off. Oh.
The freeway Patina party.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Thank you guys again, everybody in the chat. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting our cause, and thank you for helping us taking care of our warriors. So we really appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you next Monday. Peace. Be safe, everyone.